This feels creepy. Welcome to Ranger Reviews, a web series we look at episodes of the TV show Power Rangers and then discuss them. Today we're exploring the 8th episode of the show, Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, as well as the 301st episode overall, titled The Blue Crush. We begin this episode with Kai and Stanton on the bridge, where Stanton tells Kai that he's doing a great job. He has the special assignment for Kai, and Kai says that whatever it demands, he can do it, and Stanton introduces his daughter, Jody, who Stanton wants Kai to take to go skating and videotape it for him, because he can't get away from work. In the skating rink, Jody is helping Kai onto the floor, and Kai talks shit under his breath. Cody wants him to watch her skate, and she dabs for a second. Kai looks on. Meanwhile, Drakina complains to her dad that she wants to go find the lights of Orion, but Scorpia says no because she's a princess. Drakina hates the scorpion stinger, and she eats part of the wall. Okay. Furio shows up and he believes that the lights are buried in the soil of Terra Venture. Scorpia sends him and Drakina promises to obey her father while crossing her fingers behind her back. Okay. Kai is videotaping this little girl in public because... ugh. But then it gets worse, because he starts thinking some girl there is hot, and he only records her. Yeah. Jody says the girl's name is Hannah, saying hi, and Kai is very into this. He tries to skate around getting closer to Jody, but he's actually really looking for Hannah because his peen is on a mission. Hannah goes by saying hi, and then Kai eats shit hitting the floor. Hannah comes over, helping him up, asking if it's his first time skating. He has like a tiny stroke, and she goes away, but Kai tries to follow. How much time's gonna be wasted here today, Power Rangers? Then Kai's morpher goes off, and he zooms off course, flipping over a half wall. Alpha tells Kai that there's trouble in the park, and Hannah checks on Kai. Kai then asks Hannah to watch Jody because he's gotta go. We then see a creepy monster who calls out Quake Stakes, looking for the lights of Orion. The 5 Rangers show up saying some generic stuff, and the monster calls out for the Stingwingers, turning this into a full-fledged fight. Then he fires more stakes at them and they flip out of the way. Maya goes to hit him with lightning, but then Kai gets pissed, I guess, taking on the monster solo. The monster retreats and he says that the Rangers are too late anyways. Kai then runs away saying that he's not just alright, he's great, celebrating. What? Kai shows back up and Jody and Hannah roll up and Hannah leaves and Jody talks about how big her dick is at skating. Kai zones out completely, staring at Hannah. Stranger danger, stranger danger. And then things get really weird. Kai's imagination makes Hannah get into an outfit change into a flowing white dress in the skating rink. And now Kai is in khakis and they're doing some sort of horrible routine. Guys, I cannot explain how cringe this entire thing is. They come together holding hands and just as they're about to kiss or whatever, Jody snaps Kai out of it. In the dorm later, the Rangers are watching Jody's tape with her and oh my god, they realize that the entire tape is just Hannah. Jody's so upset, but it's kind of hilarious. Kai comes in with food and it's supposed to be pancakes, but they're like super burnt. And then he adds ketchup to them instead of syrup. The Rangers are like, oh, it's because of a girl. Like, this is anywhere near normal or, like, acceptable behavior whatsoever. Then a doorbell rings and it's Stanton. He's there to get Jody, who starts to tell him about the tape, but Kendricks jumps in, saying that she's so good at skating. Stanton says that he can't wait to see how much she's improved, and Damon made me actually LOL by saying, yeah, and how grown up she looks too. Jody says that she's hungry, so they leave. Also, Kai has, like, set things on fire now. Later, Kendricks and Kai are walking, and she mentions how while he knows that her name is Hannah, he doesn't really have, like, her phone number or, like, where she works, so he might not ever see her again because it's a big colony. I mean, is it that big? Kendricks then says bye, leaving, which is really funny after what she just said. Kai orders a hot dog from a stand, and he can't get mustard out of a bottle. He looks over and he sees Hannah, and he's smiling so bright that he doesn't realize that he gets mustard all over himself. And then somehow a water fountain sprays on him. Hannah notices him, waving him over. Kai tries to be smooth, sliding down a rail to her, and it's really dumb. He asks what she's reading, and she says, just a silly romance, Kai. And he's surprised that she knows his name. She says that she asked Jody. Oh, so everyone here is a stalker. Kai sits down, and they're both just smiling at each other. Meanwhile, in a forest, Furio is with the monster, whose name is Quakemaker, and he demands more stakes. Quakemaker barfs some up. Cool. Furio says that this should be enough, and they're going to shake the place until the lights appear. The stakes come up, now larger, somehow creating quakes. Don't ask me how this works without tectonic plates. Everyone is running around in panic from the quakes, and the buildings are just exploding. Then Kai and Hannah ask what's going on, getting up and running, narrowly missing a falling street lamp. The other 4 Rangers show up morphed, taking on Stingwingers, Furio, and Quakemaker. Meanwhile, Kai and Hannah are still running, and Hannah sees something, yelling, "Oh no! It's Johnny! Some dude passed out in a car." The grid nearby is going down, and Kai tells her no. Let him die, Hannah. She says that the wedding is tomorrow and he went to go pick up her dress. This harlot. Kai is confused and the tower is about to come down, and Kai runs forward, easily waking up Johnny. Okay then. He gets Johnny out, grabbing the dress, and then as the tower falls, we see Japanese Blue Ranger footage. Also, the car explodes from a gas leak. Oh my god, this is fantastically dramatic. Johnny is okay afterward, but honestly, I'm not. Kai then gets the dress, going to hand it to Hannah, and he's crestfallen. He hands it to her and she says thank you. Kai then just backs up, running away, and no one seems to think that's weird at all. Meanwhile, the Rangers are still fighting off things in the forest. Kai does a running morph elsewhere. Go Galactic! Leo is held down by Quakemaker, but here comes Kai, grabbing him away and throwing him onto the ground. Kai then uses his Quasar Saber, killing Quakemaker in a single slash. Alright then. Quakemaker grows giant, so Kai calls out his Galactabeast, which feels really dumb. But it doesn't matter, he gives this bitch the people's elbow. Then Kai jumps on his shoulder, and they toss Quakemaker around. Leo calls out for the other Galactabeasts, and they go into their Zord mode, creating the Galaxy Megazord. Feels like we wasted some time not just doing that before, but okay. What feels like 100 years later, when the Megazords finally form, they seriously just instantly fire off the Condor missile and they kill Quakemaker. Well, that's underwhelming. On the Scorpion Stinger, Furio says he'll find the lights and he's in chains. Scorpius fires at him, accidentally freeing him, and then he gets away. Scorpius demands that Furio is brought back to him. In a cave, Furio fends off Stingwingers, and then he turns a corner talking about something out of the frame. Then he talks about how the lights of Orion may have been under their noses this entire time. In the dorm, Maya says that she's worried about Kai because he hasn't had a real meal in 2 days, and Damon laments that he and Leo also haven't either because Kai is not cooking. They ask Kai for lunch and he says no thanks, and Damon says, no, how about making us some lunch? Damon's the only one on this scene with a likable personality. Maya asks where Leo is, and Damon says he's actually right in front of him, but he's gotten so skinny now you can't see him. Damn, Damon, pop off, sis. Kai rolls over to his bunk. The doorbell rings again, and it's Jody with a special package for Kai. It's from Hannah, and she says it was important. Kendricks takes it, bringing it over to Kai. He hops up, opening the card, and Kendricks is trying to read it, but Kai gives her a look. My sister's wedding was great. I was a beautiful bridesmaid, Kai says. Oh, her sister married Johnny. Unless Johnny's still her boyfriend? Also, the package is a cake, which Damon is stoked about. The end. To no one's shock, I don't think we will ever see Hannah again in this lifetime. And honestly, this blows for a Kai Focus episode. I feel like they were maybe looking at it as like a different side of Kai, but I really translate as Kai's a totally different person for this episode to match the Japanese footage. And it shows. For all that talk about getting the lights from underground, we also never see anyone actually searching through the soil or like looking for them at all. Kind of feels like a giant waste of time overall. Next episode, we introduce a brand new character who is a mainstay of the season. But until then, may the power protect you.